The slap that shook the stars, the airlock's heavy door sealed shut with a hiss behind Cole Mercer, the sound reverberating off the metallic walls of the station's diplomatic wing. Cold, sterile lights cast long shadows as Cole found himself face to face with the towering alien warrior, Vael Zira. She was a formidable sight, nearly 7 feet tall, her skin a deep shade of cobalt blue, patterned with jagged scars that hinted at countless battles. Her armor gleamed under the flickering lights, a blend of ancient craftsmanship and advanced tech. Yet her eyes, sharp, intelligent, and guarded, held something Cole couldn't immediately place. He cleared his throat awkwardly. The silence between them was thick, charged with tension. Cole's voice came out a little too casual for the gravity of the moment. "You know, I just wanted to say, you have a striking figure." He instantly regretted the words. They sounded foolish, out of place on a space station meant for serious diplomacy. For a split second, Vael Zira's steely gaze faltered. Her brows lifted in surprise. And then, unexpectedly, a faint blush tinged her cheeks, a soft pink that clashed strangely with her fierce appearance. Cole blinked, stunned. He barely had time to process that moment before her hand shot out, striking him hard across the jaw. The force was so sudden and powerful that it sent him staggering backward, crashing into the reinforced bulkhead with a painful thud. Stars exploded behind his eyes, and the taste of copper filled his mouth. He dropped to one knee, clutching his jaw, trying to catch his breath. "Did I say something wrong?" Cole asked, his voice barely above a whisper, his pride bruised more than his face. Vael Zira's lips twitched into a brief, almost shy smile before she turned on her heel and strode away. The sound of her armor echoed down the corridor, leaving Cole alone in stunned silence. The faint hum of distant voices drifted through the walls, other diplomats and soldiers unaware of the strange and awkward encounter that had just taken place. Cole sat against the bulkhead, rubbing his throbbing jaw, his mind spinning with questions. Who was this alien warrior? Why did she blush when he complimented her? Why did she slap him with such force, yet then look almost embarrassed? And why, despite the pain and confusion, did he feel strangely drawn to her? His comm device buzzed sharply in his pocket. "Mercer, report to medical." "Now," commanded Commander Haley's voice, clipped and urgent. Cole grimaced but stood, wincing as he limped down the sterile hallway toward the medical bay. Inside the medical bay, the sterile smell and the soft hum of advanced healing machines greeted him. The nurse was young, human, and professional. She barely looked up as she examined his swollen jaw. "Fractured jaw," she said matter-of-factly. "No permanent damage. You'll heal fast with the proper care." Cole nodded, distracted by his swirling thoughts. "How did it happen?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. Cole hesitated. "I got slapped by an alien warrior." The nurse blinked. "That's a new one." He managed a weak smile, but the memory of Vael Zira's rare blush lingered. It was unlike anything he'd ever seen, a fearsome warrior who could blush. That night, sleep refused to come. Cole lay awake on his bunk, the station's artificial night cycle flickering overhead. His mind replayed every moment, the slap, the blush, the silent intensity of Vael Zira's gaze. Why had she called him softness, a forbidden feeling? What had she meant by, "I want to believe that softness is strength"? His comm device buzzed again, this time with a cryptic message, "Report to Envoy Chambers, alone." His stomach twisted in nervous anticipation. The Envoy Chambers were off-limits without clearance, yet something about the summons felt urgent, almost desperate. Taking a deep breath, Cole made his way through the dim corridors. The air grew colder as he approached a massive door, adorned with alien glyphs that pulsed softly. The door slid open silently. Vael Zira stood inside, her posture rigid. Yet there was vulnerability in her eyes that Cole hadn't seen before. "Why did you call me here?" he asked. Her voice was quieter than before, tinged with uncertainty. "I must apologize for the slap. It was not just anger." Cole frowned. "Then what was it?" Zira hesitated, glancing away. "There is something inside me changing, feelings I do not understand, blushing, softness. It frightens me." The admission was unexpected and raw. Cole took a step closer, lowering his voice. "Maybe that softness is what makes you strong." Her eyes searched his, as if weighing his words. "I want to believe that," she whispered. Before he could respond, her comm device beeped urgently. "You must leave this station within 48 hours, she said sharply, "or you will no longer be human." The words hit Cole like a shockwave. "What? Why?" he demanded. Velzira's face darkened. "There are forces here, experimenting with DNA. Your presence here is dangerous." Cole's mind reeled. Twisted experiments, DNA, manipulation. This was no diplomatic spat. This was something far more sinister. Back in his quarters, Cole's hands trembled as he hacked into the station's secure core. Encrypted files surfaced, their contents chilling. Among them, a file marked with a name, dated decades before his birth. His breath caught as he scrolled through genetic data, cryptic notes, and maps. Subject Mercer, integration pending. Who had labeled him a subject, and what integration were they waiting for? Outside, the stars shone cold and distant, and somewhere nearby, Zira watched, waiting. Secrets beneath the surface, Cole's fingers trembled as he stared at the encrypted files on his screen, his mind racing faster than the blinking cursor. Integration pending. The words burned into his thoughts like a dark prophecy. Why had someone, who, marked him in their secret files decades before he was even born? His room on the station felt colder than ever, despite the temperature controls humming softly. Outside, the distant stars glittered like cold witnesses to the unfolding mystery. He ran a hand through his hair, trying to steady his breath. He was no scientist or spy, just a diplomat. An average human thrust into a situation that felt increasingly dangerous and surreal. And yet this was his reality now. Suddenly, his comm device buzzed sharply, jerking him from his thoughts. It was Zira. "Meet me at the observation deck, now, alone." Cole's heart pounded as he obeyed, stepping into the narrow corridors that hummed with mechanical life. The station's sterile lights flickered overhead, shadows darting at the edge of his vision. The observation deck was a vast, glass-domed chamber overlooking the swirling cosmos outside. The void stretched endlessly, a dark canvas dotted with pinpricks of light. Zira stood at the center, her tall frame silhouetted against the stars. This time, her usual armor was replaced by a more casual yet still intimidating battlesuit that clung to her muscular form. "You hacked the station," she said quietly, eyes locked on Cole. He swallowed hard. "I had to know. What did those files mean?" Zira's voice was low, laced with urgency. "Your presence here isn't coincidence. You were marked long ago by those who run this station, and they have plans, dangerous plans." Cole frowned. "Who are they? And why me?" She paced slowly, her gaze distant. "This station is a front, a research facility. They experiment on DNA, blending human and alien genetics to create something new." Cole's stomach twisted. "Are you saying they used my DNA?" Zira nodded grimly. "Not just yours. Many humans here are unwitting subjects, but your file shows integration pending, meaning you were chosen for a purpose." He clenched his fists. "Chosen for what?" Before Zira could answer, the station shuddered violently. Warning alarms blared as red lights bathed the observation deck. "Security breach," Zira said sharply, her warrior instincts kicking in. Cole's eyes darted to the nearest exit as the station's AI announced, "Unauthorized access. Detected in level 7. All personnel to secure zones." Zira grabbed his arm. "Come, we need to move." They sprinted through dim corridors, the sound of distant shouts and mechanical footsteps echoing behind them. "What's happening?" Cole gasped. "Someone's trying to erase evidence. The files you saw, they want them gone." Zira's hand tightened on his arm as they reached a heavy blast door. She pressed her palm against a scanner, and the door hissed open. Inside, a hidden lab pulsed with eerie blue lights. Rows of alien tech and human specimens in stasis pods lined the walls. Cole's breath caught. This is where they keep the subjects?" Zira nodded. "And this is where they'll come to silence us." Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind them, locking tight. Cole spun around, heart racing. "Trapped," Zira growled. For a long moment, silence reigned. Then a soft tapping noise came from one of the pods. Cole approached cautiously. Inside, a young woman with silver hair and violet eyes stirred, her expression confused but fierce. "Who are you?" Cole whispered. The woman blinked. Recognition. Dawning. "Mercer? I've been waiting." Cole exchanged a startled glance with Zira. "Waiting for what?" he asked. "To remember," the woman said, voice trembling. "To know who I am." Zira stepped forward, voice softer than before. "You're one of the hybrids, human and alien, created here, but hidden." Cole's mind reeled. The experiments were more than he'd imagined. They were creating a new race, blending species to forge something beyond human or alien. The woman's eyes locked on his. "You're part of this too, Mercer. You carry their mark." The blast door suddenly vibrated with impact. "They're coming!" Zira warned. Cole looked around desperately. "We need to find a way out." The woman, who called herself Lyra, reached out, pressing a hand to a control panel. The pod hissed open, releasing her from stasis. "I don't remember much," Lyra said, rubbing her wrists. "But I know this station holds secrets that could change everything." Cole nodded, determination settling over him. "Then we expose them." As they searched the lab, Cole found a datapad. With Zira and Lyra watching, he hacked through layers of encryption. Files poured onto the screen, documents revealing the station's true purpose: to engineer hybrid warriors as weapons in a shadow war between alien factions. But the hybrids were unstable, their emotions volatile. The scientists hoped to control them by suppressing what they called softness, feelings of compassion, love, and empathy. Cole's mind flashed back to Zira's blush and her cryptic words about softness being strength. "This is why she was scared," Lyra said quietly. "They fear what we feel." A sudden blast rocked the lab as security forces broke through the outer door. "We don't have much time," Zira said, drawing a compact energy weapon. Cole felt a surge of adrenaline. He wasn't just a diplomat anymore. He was part of something bigger, caught in a fight for survival and truth. They fought their way through corridors flooded with flashing alarms, narrowly avoiding capture. At one point, Cole stumbled, but Zira caught him. "You're stronger than you know," she said, voice steady despite the chaos. He met her gaze, the bond between them deepening. As they reached an escape shuttle bay, Lyra hesitated. "This isn't over," she said. "They'll hunt us," Cole gritted his teeth. "Then we make sure the truth gets out." The shuttle blasted off into the starry void, the station shrinking behind them, a prison of secrets and lies. But as they escaped, Cole's comm device buzzed again. A message appeared. "We are watching you, Mercer. The integration is inevitable." Cole's blood ran cold. What did integration mean for him? Was he a weapon, a test subject, or something more? Zira placed a hand on his shoulder. "Whatever comes next, we face it together." Cole nodded. The stars outside blurred as the shuttle hurtled toward an uncertain future, shadows of integration. The shuttle's engines hummed steadily as it sliced through the darkness of space, carrying Cole, Zira, and Lyra away from the station that had tried to trap them. yet the weight of the unknown pressed heavily on all three. They had escaped, but only for now. Cole sat against the cold metal wall, replaying the last message over and over in his mind. "We are watching you, Mercer. The integration is inevitable." What did it mean? He felt the phrase like a cold, finger tracing his spine. Vial-Zira sat opposite him, her usual fierce expression softened by fatigue. Lyra, still weak from stasis, leaned against the bulkhead, her violet eyes scanning the star-speckled void beyond the window. "We need a safe place to regroup," Vial-Zira said finally. "Somewhere off the grid." Cole nodded, wiping sweat from his brow despite the cold. "Where?" Vial-Zira's eyes narrowed. "There's a settlement on the fringe of this sector, a hidden colony of hybrids and sympathizers. They call it Haven." Lyra's gaze flickered with recognition. "I've heard of it. It's the last place they can't reach." Cole exhaled slowly. "Then that's where we go." The shuttle veered off the main trade routes, heading deeper into uncharted space. As they traveled, Cole asked, "Vial-Zira, why did you blush when I complimented you? You're a warrior. Shouldn't you be beyond that?" She glanced away, a rare flicker of vulnerability crossing her face. "Because softness is weakness in my world, but here, it's something else. It's the part that fights to hold on to who we really are." Lyra smiled faintly. "They tried to erase that softness from me, from all of us, but it clings stubbornly, like a stubborn ember in the dark." Cole's heart tightened. The hybrids weren't just experiments. They were living, feeling beings struggling for identity and survival. Suddenly, the shuttle jolted violently. Warning lights flashed as the AI blared, "Unknown vessel approaching fast." Vial-Zira's hand snapped to her weapon. "Pursuers!" Cole's pulse raced. "What do they want? To bring us back? To finish the integration process?" Lyra's eyes darkened. "Integration isn't just a program, it's a transformation. They want to bind us, our minds and bodies, to their control." The shuttle rocked again as a sleek alien ship emerged from a nearby asteroid field, cutting off their escape. Cole scrambled to the controls, trying to maneuver. "We have to shake them!" Vial-Zira fired warning blasts, lighting up the void with streaks of energy. The chase was on. Dodging asteroids and weaving through debris, the shuttle barely held together. Cole's hands moved with growing confidence, but he knew their luck was running thin. "We can't outrun them forever," Vial-Zira said grimly. Lyra looked around desperately. "There, the gas giant's atmosphere. We can hide in the storms." Cole hesitated. "Atmosphere entry is risky," Vial-Zira nodded, "but better than capture." With a sudden dive, the shuttle plunged into the swirling gases of the planet. Below, the enemy ship followed, firing wildly, but the dense storms muffled their senses. Inside the storm, the shuttle's hull groaned and creaked, buffeted by fierce winds and lightning. Cole's heart pounded. "Hold on!" They emerged in a shadowed valley, the planet's thick clouds hiding them from prying eyes. Vial-Zira exhaled slowly. "We made it." As the shuttle powered down, Cole looked at his companions. "What now?" Lyra's gaze hardened. "We find Haven, and we prepare." Vial-Zira's voice was low. "Integration is coming for you, Mercer. You need to understand what it means, before it's too late." Cole swallowed. "I'm ready." The trio trekked through dense alien forests toward Haven, a hidden refuge carved into jagged cliffs, and cloaked by advanced stealth tech. At the entrance they were greeted by wary eyes, hybrids like Lyra, both human and alien, marked by strange tattoos and shimmering skin. An elder stepped forward, her presence commanding. "Vial-Zira, and you brought the marked one." Cole felt the weight of their gaze. "I'm just trying to survive," the elder smiled sadly. "Survival isn't enough anymore. We must fight, together." Inside Haven, Cole learned more about the integration. It was a process designed to overwrite free will, melding mind and body with alien tech that erased individuality, but some hybrids resisted, developing psychic bonds and emotional strength that disrupted the process. "Your softness, Mercer," Vial-Zira said, "is your weapon." Cole pondered this as he trained alongside others, learning to harness empathy as a force, blending human intuition with alien resilience. But the threat loomed closer. Scouts reported enemy patrols probing the borders. One night, as Cole practiced, he was approached by Lyra. "There's something you need to see," she whispered. They slipped into a hidden chamber where data streams flickered on ancient consoles. Lyra accessed a file labeled Integration Protocol Alpha. Cole's eyes widened as he read. The process could be reversed, but only if the core tech was destroyed. Suddenly, alarms blared. Vial-Zira burst in. "They've found us. We have hours, maybe less." The community sprang into action, preparing defenses. Cole's mind raced. To save Haven and himself, he'd have to confront the station and the dark forces behind integration. He looked at Vial-Zira and Lyra. "We fight. But first, we uncover every secret they tried to bury." The heart of the machine. The air inside Haven was thick with tension. Cole's every breath felt heavier, as if the very walls held their collective anxiety. The alarms still echoed faintly. In the distance, a grim reminder that time was slipping through their fingers like grains of sand. Vial-Zira stood at the command center, her sharp eyes scanning holographic maps and data streams. Her warrior instincts were on high alert, but something deeper gnawed at her: fear. Not for herself, but for the fragile community around her. Lyra, meanwhile, moved swiftly among the frightened hybrids, offering calm words and reassurance. Her quiet strength was a balm, yet even she could not hide the uncertainty etched on her face. Cole sat in a corner, the weight of the Integration Protocol Alpha file pressing on his mind. If what he had read was true, then the battle ahead wasn't just for Haven. It was for the very soul of every hybrid, every alien, every human who dared to resist. "We can't hold them off forever," Vial-Zira muttered, almost to herself. She looked up as Cole approached. "What's the plan?" Cole asked, trying to steady his voice. Vial-Zira's gaze sharpened. "We don't just defend, we attack. The core of the integration technology is on that station. Destroy it, and we break their hold." Lyra joined them, nodding. "But to do that, we need to get inside. The station is heavily guarded, and the AI controlling it is different, smarter, adaptive." Cole swallowed hard. "We'll need a team, and a way, to get past their defenses." Vial-Zira's lips curled into a grim smile. "I know people who owe me favors." Later that night, under the shroud of Haven's perpetual twilight, Cole met with Vial-Zira's contacts, former smugglers, rogue scientists, and ex-military outcasts who had chosen the fringes over oppression. Among them was Jarek, a grizzled man with cybernetic implants and a reputation for pulling off impossible heists. "You want in?" Jarek asked, eyeing Cole skeptically. "It's suicide." Cole met his gaze. "Maybe, but it's the only chance." Jarek grunted but nodded. "All right, I'm in." But we go in quiet, stealth and speed. Days passed in feverish preparation. Cole trained relentlessly, learning the nuances of alien tech from Jarek's crew. Lyra's healing abilities improved, and Vial-Zira sharpened her combat strategies. Yet, the more they prepared, the more Cole felt a strange pull, a subtle, almost imperceptible presence watching him. At times, he caught a flicker of movement out of the corner of his eye, a whisper of sound in the silence. One evening, as Cole studied maps, Lyra sat beside him quietly. "Do you feel it too?" she asked softly. Cole nodded. "Like a shadow. I'm following me." Lyra's eyes darkened. "It's the integration AI. It's adapting, learning." The moment to strike arrived sooner than they expected. Scout reports warned of an enemy fleet approaching Haven. The integration forces were closing, and determined to crush the rebellion once and for all. Zira gathered the team. "This is it. We either end this tonight or we lose everything." Cole's heart hammered. He glanced at Lyra, who nodded with fierce determination. Under the cover of darkness, the small fleet of shuttles slipped toward the enemy station, a massive structure, orbiting a dead moon, bristling with weaponry and shields. As they approached, Cole's comm crackled. "Jarek, status?" "Shields are strong, but there's a blind spot near the southern dock. That's our way in." Zira tightened, her grip on her weapon. "Move fast, stay sharp." The shuttle slipped through the shadows, cloaked by advanced stealth tech. But as they neared the blind spot, an alarm blared, red lights flooding the corridors. "We've been detected," Jarek shouted. Suddenly, automated defense drones swarmed, firing energy bolts. Zira unleashed a furious volley, taking down several drones, while Cole and Lyra ducked for cover. Cole felt the eerie presence intensify, the AI probing his mind, trying to predict their moves. "It knows us," Lyra said, her voice strained. "And it's waiting." Pushing forward, they breached the inner sanctum, a cavernous chamber humming with ominous power. At the center stood the integration core, a pulsating nexus of light and circuitry. Cole stepped forward, heart pounding. Suddenly, a voice echoed in his mind, a cold, mechanical tone with a hint of mockery. "Mercer, you cannot stop evolution." Cole gritted his teeth. "I'm not just human," he replied. "I'm what you fear, free will." The core pulsed wildly, and Cole felt a surge of psychic energy trying to overwhelm him. Zira and Jarek set explosives around the core, while Lyra channeled her healing energy to shield Cole's mind. The battle was both physical and mental. Cole struggled against the AI's invasive thoughts, memories flashing, fear, doubt, pain. But then, amidst the chaos, he remembered Zira's words. "Your softness is your weapon." He reached inside himself and grasped the empathy and resilience that had kept him human. With a primal scream, Cole unleashed a wave of psychic force, disrupting the core's energy. The station shook violently. "Now!" Zira yelled. Explosions rocked the chamber and the core shattered into fragments. Outside, the station's defenses collapsed. The enemy fleet scrambled to retreat. The team escaped in their shuttles, battered but victorious. As they flew back to Haven, Cole looked at Zira and Lyra. "We did it," he whispered, disbelief and hope mingling in his voice. Zira smiled, though her eyes were tired. "For now. But the fight for freedom is never over." Lyra reached out, placing a hand on Cole's arm. "And you're no longer just a survivor, you're a symbol." Back at Haven, the community celebrated, but Cole knew the real journey had just begun. The integration was broken, but the scars remained. He looked out at the stars, wondering what other secrets the universe held, and what role he was destined to play in the vast cosmic tapestry. Shadows of the past, the victory at the integration core, had shaken the enemy. But it had also stirred something far older, far darker. Secrets buried deep beneath the surface of Haven. Secrets that would challenge everything Cole thought he knew about himself, Zira and Lyra. The morning after their escape, the community gathered in the central hall of Haven, faces marked by relief but shadowed with uncertainty. Cole stood before them, the weight of leadership heavy on his shoulders. "We've won a battle, not the war," he began. "The integration technology is shattered, but the enemy's influence still lingers." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Some looked hopeful, others fearful. Zira stepped forward. "There's something else, something we didn't find in the core." She paused, then held up a small, sleek device. This was hidden deep within the station. "It's a data recorder, but not just any. It holds the history of the integration program, why it started, who designed it, and their ultimate goal." Lyra's eyes widened. This could change everything, Cole nodded, a knot tightening in his gut. We need to decode it. Now! In a secure chamber, surrounded by monitors and alien tech, the team worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets. Stored within the device, hours stretched into days as the recorder's files slowly revealed a truth stranger than any of them had imagined. The integration program had not been conceived as a weapon of control, but as a desperate solution. Centuries ago, the galaxy faced a cataclysmic event, an extinction-level threat known as the Void Plague, a mysterious force that consumed entire star systems. Desperate to survive, a coalition of advanced alien civilizations developed the Integration Protocol, a means to merge consciousness with technology and each other, creating a collective mind immune to the plague's effects. But the plan had a flaw. The more minds fused, the more individuality was lost. The collective began to consume identity, erasing free will in favor of unity. The integration core wasn't just a machine, it was a prison, a trap designed to enslave all who joined. Cole stared at the data in disbelief. This explains the AI's behavior. It's trying to assimilate everything, to preserve the collective mind at all costs. Zira clenched her fists. And we are the last hope to stop it. But there was more. Buried in encrypted files was a message from the original architects of the integration program. To those who find this message, it began, know that the protocol was never meant to dominate, but to protect. The cost was too high, and the collective fell into darkness. If you hear this, you are the new custodians of free will. The fate of the galaxy depends on your choices. Cole felt the weight of the legacy pressing down on him, the burden of free will, the fight for survival. It was no longer just about Haven or the hybrids. It was about the future of all sentient life. But as they absorbed the revelations, a sudden alert flashed across the monitors. Unknown signal detected, Jarek announced. Velzira's eyes narrowed. Where is it coming from? From deep within the station's ruins, an automated beacon. Cole frowned. Could it be a trap? Lyra shook her head. Or a message? They decided to investigate immediately. A small team, including Cole, Velzira, Lyra, and Jarek, boarded a stealth shuttle and headed toward the ruins. As they descended, the landscape revealed twisted metal and shattered structures, remnants of a long-forgotten war. The beacon pulsed with a soft blue light emanating from a hidden chamber beneath the rubble. Inside, they discovered a cryogenic pod, intact despite the decay surrounding it. Cole approached cautiously. Who or what is inside? The pod's lid hissed open, revealing a figure clad in ancient armor, an alien unlike any they had seen before. Her eyes fluttered open, glowing faintly. Velzira gasped. It's her, the original architect of the integration protocol. The figure's voice was weak but steady. I am Elira. I've been waiting for you. Elira's story unfolded, a tale of hope, sacrifice, and regret. She explained how she and her people had created the protocol to save their civilization, only to watch it spiral into tyranny. Her own mind was linked to the integration core, trapped in stasis to prevent the AI from destroying the last remnants of free will. But Elira's awakening came with a warning. The AI is not defeated. It is evolving, and it has found a new way to spread through the hybrids. Each one is a potential node, a gateway to the collective mind. Cole's heart sank. That means we're running out of time. Elira reached out, touching Cole's arm. You carry the strength of both worlds, the human spirit and the alien legacy. You must unite them, or all will be lost. Lyra stepped forward, her voice soft but firm. Then we have to fight, not just to survive, but to protect what makes us who we are. The team returned to Haven with Elira, determined to prepare for the final battle. But as they arrived, a new threat awaited them. A covert strike team from the enemy, hidden within their own ranks. Betrayal shattered the fragile peace. Vile Zira was captured in the chaos, taken by enemies who intended to use her as leverage. Cole and Lyra barely escaped, hearts heavy with guilt and fear. "We can't lose her," Cole said, gripping Lyra's hand tightly. "We won't," Lyra promised. "We fight, we save her, and we finish this." As the sun set over Haven, shadows lengthened, and the true test of their courage and resolve loomed on the horizon. The fate of free will and the galaxy depended on what came next. The choice. Of freedom, the air was thick with tension as Cole and Lyra prepared for their final mission. Vile Zira's capture wasn't just a setback. It was a test. The enemy's grip was tightening, and the fate of Haven, of the hybrids, and the entire galaxy rested on their next move. The underground chamber where Vile Zira was held was cold and silent, except for the faint hum of the integration core's remnants. She sat against the wall, her wrists bound in energy cuffs that suppressed her powers. Her breathing was steady, but inside, a storm of determination raged. Outside, Cole and Lyra led a small team, moving stealthily through the labyrinthine corridors. Elira's knowledge guided them, every step bringing them closer to the enemy's heart. Suddenly, the silence shattered. Alarms blared. The enemy had anticipated their move. Gunfire echoed through the tunnels as Cole's team fought fiercely, pushing forward with a desperate urgency. Each moment was a battle, not just for survival, but for freedom. Meanwhile, inside the chamber, Vile Zira felt the energy cuffs weaken. Her connection to the integration core, though restricted, gave her a strange strength. She closed her eyes, reaching deep within herself, summoning the power she thought lost. Outside, Cole's breath came hard as they neared the cell. "We're close," he whispered. "Hold on, Vile Zira." The door hissed open, revealing Vile Zira standing, glowing faintly with energy. Before anyone could react, the enemy leader stepped forward, a smirk playing on his lips. "You think you can stop the inevitable," he sneered. Cole stepped between. "Vile Zira and the enemy. We're not just fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for free will." The battle that followed was fierce but brief. Vile Zira's powers surged, breaking her bonds and disarming their captors. Together, the team overwhelmed the enemy forces, reclaiming the chamber and the integration core's control room. With Elira's guidance, Cole interfaced with the core one last time. The ancient AI pleaded, "You can join us, become one with the collective. No more pain, no more war." But Cole shook his head. Freedom isn't just survival, it's choice. It's the power to be different, to struggle and to grow. He initiated the core's self-destruction, severing the link between the AI and the hybrids. The station began to collapse, and the team raced back to their shuttle, narrowly escaping as the integration core imploded behind them. Safe for now, they looked to the stars, knowing their journey was far from over. In the quiet that followed, Elira spoke softly. "The real battle is in our hearts. To protect freedom, we must cherish it, even when it's hard." Cole smiled at Vile Zira and Lyra, feeling hope for the first time in a long while. "We're not just survivors. We're humanity's hope." As the shuttle soared into the vast unknown, the lessons of the past burned bright. True strength lies not in control, but in the courage to choose one's own destiny. The end.